Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I plan is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we about to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716, make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We call him blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to keyshon and they talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo don't make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo won't make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Podium podcast, sponsored by Ree's Tea, the best tasting tea in town. It's the home of the all true no sodium takes. I am your co-host Aramis.
It's 40 Keys.
40 Keys in the head house. Listen. Big news today. All right.
What you got?
Our producer's leaving us, man.
What?
He's leaving us.
Why are you smiling?
He don't
give it an AO.
No. Props where props is due. He's doing big things in the world of welding. Right?
I knew what it was, but I'm just like, who's gonna give us the AOs?
I know.
We're gonna have pauseless shows now.
He single-handedly brought that culture to this show.
He did. Now it's up to you at home to carry on the legacy.
That's a PBS moment. It's up to you.
For a one-time donation.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. All right. But yeah, so I mean, we got a mic on him, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna let him get it all out of his system today because he came ready to say some things.
Bomb on me? Yeah.
I sure did.
Yeah, I know you did. I know you did. You got some tissue?
He insisted that he get a microphone for this.
I already know. He had it set up, it's right up, it's lined up perfectly,
yeah.
Everything is good.
I'm mad so bad, it's about to be hilarious.
You think he will make me mad, but you have no idea.
Right. So that's where we're at with that situation. But we got a lot of good stuff coming up on this show. But let's do what we always do, man. Let's start with stuff we heard. What do we got?
Hey, you know what? I ain't got no stuff we heard, but I got grind my gears.
I'm with it. With it.
So the first thing is this is it. Okay. Take Ken to Starbucks because he has a coffee kick. Not really. That's me. But irregardless, went to Arby's. I don't want to hear it. I know people don't like Arby's. However, you know how they ask you want horsey or Arby's sauce when you get your order. I got beef and cheddar, the half pound or whatever. I didn't know they're gonna splooge my ish with cheddar and whatever that red sauce is. I guess it's Arby's sauce. Why do I have soup in the bottom of my carton? Why is my carton soupy? Now I'm like, how do I eat this? It's gonna be messy. It's all over the place, all over my shirt, all over my hands, all over my face. I'm 40. I shouldn't be eating this way. But alas, what, man? I told you I don't want to hear it. I got to get this out. But alas, I finished my meal and Ken's got his half sandwich still in the microwave. I'm like, dude, this is from noon. When you gonna finish that sandwich? You got fries on the table. Finish your food. He's running around playing with the guinea pigs. One sock on, one sock off, doing all sorts of things. And so when I get home tonight, I told him that sandwich better be somewhere where I can eat it. Also, another thing that grinds my gears. Our Triple P Fantasy League.
Okay.
Nice name. Nice name. Laura says, whoever it was. I'm like, I know who it was, Aramis.
I have no idea who made their team that
top
name.
Person on the thing. I have no idea who would do this.
My name on there is Big Papa.
No, because that's the person I look for. It ain't there. No, it ain't.
So what Key's referring to is what did I name this team?
Yeah,
now?
Look it up. Tell me what your name is.
Let me see.
Because this Laura said, you know what? Don't come for me. Come for the guy that's got Key's big feet or whatever it is. I don't know. And I'm like, yo, foul on the play. That's a flag.
Let me see. What did I have?
It was like Key's foot pirates or something like that. Barefoot pirates.
Let me see.
Who had the audacity to put that?
Who you think?
Keys Barefoot Pirates. Somebody named their team Keys Barefoot
allegedly
Pirates.
Named themselves. Who? Somebody named themselves.
I mean, it's not allegedly. It's right. It's right
I know.
there. Like it's there on the phone.
Allegedly, somebody did it.
I mean, we gotta find out who this person is.
I know. I'm looking at it.
It's probably me.
I'm looking at him because Big Papa's not there. I know your name.
Yeah.
You see the other one? You see my name in there?
Huh?
You see what my name is?
No, I didn't see what your name is. Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah, debuting live on the show. Here we go. Something very inappropriate.
Buffalo.
Let's see. Buffalo. No.
Buffalo loves the snow. Buffalo loves that snow.
Okay. I expected that.
Yeah,
I expected something to the Deion Dawkins dimension was going to be coming right back at me. That's
because
fine.
it had to.
That's fine.
Only because it had to.
Yeah. Real quick.
Okay.
So our video seems to be glitchy. I apologize. We're trying to do this on what is it? On Chrome right now. Google Chrome right now. So instead of closing out everything and getting on Firefox and doing that for the time being, we're gonna roll with this. If it really bothers you that much, I apologize. I understand if you can't watch it, but we will have this fixed Monday. But just bear with us, please, if you could.
You got to listen. Just listen.
Yeah. Even if you just do that, just
it might
put
be
the
audio
phone
only,
down,
but
put
it's going to be the same. It's going to hit you the same.
Right. Hey, June, can we get Keyshon's shot? Because his head is cut off by like a lot.
That's fine. I don't really have a top to my head, so we're good.
Well,
it's missing.
It's not missing.
Oh.
It's there.
Oh,
it's there.
Oh.
You know what? You actually have a smaller head for your frame.
I know.
Like
that's crazy, right?
But it's not a bad thing.
No.
Like it's big enough so that it doesn't look like a small little pea head compared to your whole. You know what I mean?
Little
Like
in black head. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Worm man.
All right. OLI is in the building.
Early.
He said, I saw his comment earlier. He said, "Yo, first day back in video glitchy." That's not how we roll, bro. I don't know if you've seen some of the other episodes. That's not how we do this. Yeah. So, but to your point, the coffee situation.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember where you ended.
No, I trailed off in the Aramis. I was really with Aramis thing, but the coffee situation.
Okay.
While you're thinking about where you're going, let me tell you the story about my coffee from yesterday.
Okay.
So I go.
Oh, wait, before you go there.
Go.
Did you know that they have your cold brew in cans?
That's counterfeit.
Why is it counterfeit?
It's counterfeit. Because I know they've been selling that in Target and whatnot. It's counterfeit.
Why? It's Starbucks cold brew.
I know.
Why is it counterfeit?
Because what it is not 5 days old. If you're telling me, you guarantee me that they throw those cans out for 5 days, I'm good.
I mean, the only difference is it's sitting in the can with maybe some preservatives in it.
Did you say maybe some perfect?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Like, does coffee like lose its potency over time or something?
Absolutely.
Oh well.
That's why after 5 days they throw it out. Like they make vats. Well, when they first started making it, they made vats of it.
Yeah.
And then like after 3 or 5 days, they toss out whatever's left and redo it because it takes 20. You gotta have it sit for 48 hours.
Interesting.
And then because what you do is you put water. I'm loving this. You put water in a vat. You got to drop the coffee bean, coarse ground, into the water. It sits in a refrigerated environment for 2 days. And from that, you get a syrup, a thick syrup, which is what you tasted. And you said, you can't believe I drink it. And they dilute it with water to your liking, which I don't like to dilute anything. And that's how you roll. See, when it's in the can, who knows how long it's been? They're going to tell you it's about this cold brew. But that's the same thing that we go to IHOP. They say we got a cold brew. You go to Timber. Ain't no cold. That's iced coffee. That's iced coffee.
You know what I'm into now? Iced cappuccino.
Iced cappuccino. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
As long as it's not iced coffee. You know what iced coffee is?
I've had iced coffee.
You know what it is?
What?
It's old coffee. Old brew coffee. They just put ice in to sell it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm glad I got away from that.
You can literally look it up. I mean, look it up. You can.
I mean, the flavor of it was very bad.
That's why it's. I mean, it's not like it's gonna hurt you, but it just has no potency. It's like just for flavor.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that also explains why I wasn't getting no energy off of that, boys.
You took it
like, remember, you seen Hitch, right? When his face swole up and he had the Benadryl, he said, "Come on!"
You like,
right? That's how I'm drinking the coffee. That's how I'm drinking the coffee.
Inside out.
Come on, give me the energy. You know, but
inside out.
So the direction that I'd like to get to eventually, just so that everybody knows what the major topic is for the show. Okay. I want us to get into what the title and what the title was, and I'm not sure I remember exactly how I worded the question, but something to the effect of, which players need a great performance during all these preseason games to possibly slip into a starting spot.
Say less.
Right, because there's looking at the depth chart, there's younger players or players that I think we both like that we'd like to see in the starting position that are behind
go
people.
over the depth chart. So say less. I actually have that on it. Man, listen.
Like mine.
Y'all don't even know. We don't even talk before this. Only time we talk is on the show. We don't even text no more. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But
we be texting about everything else.
Man, everything else, but don't talk about the Bills.
Exactly.
So I was meant to bring this up last time. Did you see the study of Google searching data has revealed the Bills are the third most popular team in the country, in the world?
In the world?
In the world.
Really?
In the world. Most popular, Dallas. Second most, Kansas City. Buffalo is third. I mean, Dallas, obviously, because it's just, I don't know what it is about Dallas. And that's not even a slight on Dallas. Maybe a little bit. But I don't know what it is about Dallas, but they're always going to be number one. They're not just America's team. They're the world's team, evidently.
Yeah.
But Kansas City, obviously, you jump on people, they don't even know what football is. They hopping on, and you see it. What is that? It's like, I don't even know what that is. Just above Portugal. They're Kansas City fans, evidently. Libya and Africa.
Australia is Bronco country.
Australia is heavy Bronco, and this New Zealand is Kansas City.
Wow.
Now this is what makes me laugh. So I guess Southeast Asia is the Browns somehow. Yeah. Okay.
I'd be interested to know what the significance of the color brown is to them.
I know
that may have something to do with it.
It's got to be like religious or something.
Yeah, maybe.
And I'm looking at Africa. I mean, I would joke, but I'm not going to, because you know what that is. When back in the day, they always make the Super Bowl teams both shirts for the Super Bowl teams.
Okay.
And whoever loses, they used to send it to Africa.
Oh,
so
really?
They used to wear Bills shirts all the time. So I thought Bills would be heavy there.
Oh no, it's Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys.
That's shocking. So like, here's my thought on this, and this is just a theory. I haven't tested this or anything like that. I want to
hear it.
It seems all of Canada is the Bills. Wow.
Yeah, go ahead, big up Rico.
Yeah, really, man.
One man band.
But when the rest of the world thinks about America, they think about friggin' John Wayne and Cowboys and Wild Wild West and on tumbleweed flying around everywhere. Like that's what people think about when they hear the West. You know what I mean? So, bro, you all right over there?
Was that your stomach or the mic?
Oh,
I'm like, yo, somebody feed
sure
this man.
Somebody heard that. That was not one of us. I promise that.
I can't say it was or wasn't me.
Yeah, exactly. No, but so that's my theory about how the Cowboys have kind of stuck around that way for so long. Because it really doesn't make sense. They've won nothing since the 90s.
It's been a while.
Nothing. And even when Tony Romo was there, and how far did they make it? They made an NFC Championship game with him, right? Didn't they?
I think so.
And they lost to who? They lose to
the
Seahawks. I think it was the Seahawks. They lost.
My scope. Okay.
Yeah, that might have been Trent Dilfer's Seahawks that they lost to, Sean Alexander, if I'm not mistaken. But it's at this point, it's like there must be some cult out there just pushing Cowboys for
they're moving
pocket change.
But yeah, I mean, we got the one guy, I think, was he from Japan? I forget his name, but he's like an Uber Bills fan. He's like all over everything. All Bills Mafia stuff is, I'd say, probably a middle-aged guy with glasses. If you saw him, you might know him.
Is that who's where? Somebody's a Dolphins fan somewhere in there?
Where?
Off the coast of Europe?
What do you see? Oh yeah,
the Dolphins.
Here.
Who is
That's
that?
Ireland.
Ireland?
Yeah.
Really? Is it just because they're green?
Actually, wait a minute.
There's plenty of other green teams.
No, that's Scotland.
Why? Really?
Why?
Dolphins fans. They don't even have Dolphins around there.
I know.
That's weird.
That's very weird.
And then the other portion of that is Patriots fans.
Looks like
of that same culture. So half. Well, a large. I'd say 2/3 of that country is Dolphins,
which is ironic because we got independence from them, so they like the Patriots, the very embodiment of what beat them in the Revolutionary War.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Okay, they have no loyalty.
Roy said he thought someone passed gas.
I know. I can't confirm or deny it was me, Roy. I told you about the Aramis story just a minute ago. So I don't know who saw. We started the show about 2 hours ago, and I got the ring-a-ling-a-ling.
Nobody saw that. Only 2 people saw that. I
Okay.
don't even know why you're bringing that up.
Because I said we
Because
affiliate
your
with
heart dropped
no,
to your
'cause
bottom?
I wrote it in my note. I said we affiliate with a network, and this guy tries to replace me. He knows my real name was on,
Oh my
and I got
God.
the damn notification.
So this is what
It's a hell of a pink slip.
this is what happens. Let me clarify. So I'm on another podcast that I do with my wife and my pop, and for some reason the equipment that we use was set to go on my YouTube profile, right?
Mhm.
And what Junie does is because he produces that show too.
Right.
So what he does is he'll test it out to make sure the audio is good, all that kind of stuff, and then we'll go right back to recording private, and both
Right.
instances it should be private, but the first instance was let's just test out the sound, and it was 20 seconds, and my wife ended up seeing it, and she's like, this just went on your profile. You need to hurry up and delete it. So when I deleted it, it didn't show that I had any views, but I guess she was able to see that it had 2 views, and she said she was probably one of them.
Yeah, I wasn't one.
So we were sitting there wrecking our brain, like, who was the other person? Like, somebody out there in the universe saw this unnecessary live video of us setting up for this other podcast.
I was at home working like, ain't this man to replace me? I got a pink slip. It was been real,
You
y'all.
changed the whole set and everything without you. Yeah.
Swan sign. I'm out of here. I guess this is my last show. Me and Judy out of here. No, I'm joking. I'm here. You can't get rid of me.
Weirdly enough, Mac is staying on. It's just you that's leaving.
It's just me that's got to go.
That's it.
I get it. I get it. I hope start this thing, and now I'm no good anymore.
Right. Silas, what's going on, man? He said, this is from when I was talking about the Cowboys point. He said, neither have the Bills. Thanks, Norwood. I mean,
I thought Silas was a Bills podcaster. You bringing up neither? Hey.
No. We are allowed to be mad at the Bills.
Hey, I'm not mad at Norwood because he's irrelevant anymore. He's irrelevant now.
What? Why? Well, I mean, he's a part of Bills history.
Yeah. So is Deion Dawkins.
So is Tyler Bass.
He is. That's the new wide right. So that's why Norwood is no longer.
Yeah.
We went 3 more times after that. So I mean, we could have got it right 1 more time.
Right.
You know? But nah.
What's going on, Pat?
Okay. So did you see Josh Allen was asked if he misses Steph? What is it about? What you know what? I hope every Bills receiver, including Andy Isabella, KJ Hamler, Brian Thompson, all of them are better than Steph Diggs this year, because we need to get rid of this number 14. Can he just not exist anymore? I mean, there's never anything good he's ever done ever. It's all anything worth talking about in this locker room. And secondly, I don't think Josh is the kind of guy that does well with intense players around him. So
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
You think he does?
Lost video. Yeah. So okay. Let me just warn everybody. So the setup we have currently, it froze in a couple of the tests that I did before the show, and then yeah. So I had to leave out of the stream and then get back in order to get everything working. So in the tests that I did, it should be fine now, but we're going to be going for a whole nother hour and a half, so we'll see what happens. But
can we still be heard?
Huh?
Can we still be heard
when we get out and come back in? No, once we get out, they can't hear us or see us.
Can they hear us now?
So like when the screen freezes, they can hear us. Mm-hmm. They just can't see any movement. So
should we just leave the screen, the thumbtack up?
No. We'll do what we got to do to get through this one, and then everything will be fixed Monday.
It's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Silas said, "I'm blaming Tyler Bass."
Okay, Silas, you blaming Bass or you blaming Norwood? Which one is it? You can't have both.
Yeah, yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Why not?
No, you can't. Pick one.
What do you mean pick one?
Because it's my rules.
They both. Oh, okay. All right. Is that how you box up the world? Is just your rules? Like,
who does it?
You got to pick Tyrod Taylor.
No, I don't. Huh? He said you got to pick Tyrod Taylor.
Actually, you're right.
Tyrod Taylor has never missed a kick.
Tyrod Taylor's missed a lot of other stuff though.
I can't deny that. I can't deny it at all.
But no, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. So all right. The whole thing with missing Steph. What do you expect him to say?
That's what. Yeah, right. What is he supposed to say? This is Josh. Josh isn't CJ Stroud. He's not Steph Diggs. He's not gonna tell you if he.
Well, CJ Stroud ain't even really saying nothing.
He ain't got nothing to say, but he will say it if he because he didn't he tell who did he tell? He told somebody that their college career wasn't jacking. It was an alum. I forget who it was like Fred Taylor or somebody.
What about him?
He told him like he was like, "What did you do?" To his face.
Really?
CJ Stroud, he's that dude. Like he got an ego.
Okay.
Oh, he got an ego, and it's coming out now. After that 1 year of competent play, he's now him.
I don't know if there's wisdom in that, but I mean, hey,
evidently he's him. I don't know why.
I don't know how much him you can be after 1 year. I mean,
as him as you could be.
Yeah, Carlos Williams would disagree. You know what I mean?
He was him for that season too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and now he's nowhere.
Now he's them.
Roy says, "Why isn't he blaming Kyle Williams?"
Do we have how much time do we have?
We got enough. You've been burning on a few things.
Why do not yet? No. I have no quip to come back.
Kyle Williams is single-handedly the savior of the drought. Like he's
single-handedly.
Single-handedly.
Oh.
Why else would you watch the team during the drought other than to see Kyle Williams go out there and make plays?
Brian Moorman.
He was
my guy then.
He was good. Yeah, but you rarely saw him. And then
a lot. We saw him a lot. He was our best player.
No, that's a good point. But I'm talking about like the trick plays and stuff that he like where you could actually see him be athletic and run. Like the dude was fast. He was super fast.
Yeah.
But
surprisingly,
I know. It's like that's how bad it was. It got to the point where we were looking to our punter to make plays for us.
That's terrible.
Like, can we just hike the ball to Moorman and have him run a sweep?
Or throw the ball to Chris Kelsey.
Yeah, exactly. Chris Kelsey catching passes.
We've come a touchdown at that. We've come a long way. We have come a long way. And for people to ask, I mean, this thing is like, okay. I mean, I don't. You're on Twitter now, or X, and we need to normalize this too. People are always saying, Twitter, well, X, formerly known as. Let's just call it one. I don't care what you call it.
Call it what?
One. Twitter. No,
one?
I'm saying Twitter or X.
Not
Twitter, formerly known as. We get the point.
I'm always going to say Twitter.
It's Twitter. We'll settle on that.
I will never ask somebody if they're on X.
No. X, no. Because that's
not
the
a good
feds
question
listening for you.
Right.
That's the feds. You on X?
Hey, you can contact me on X.
You got some X? You got X with you? But yeah, no, I mean, the thing is, for me, I just don't see Josh reacting well. Like we talked about a long time ago, vocal leaders.
Yeah.
And I mean, Josh's level of vocality, we'll just say that's a word for the intent and purpose of what I'm going to say,
okay.
Is not up there with some of the more vocal guys in the league. He gets his point across because his players know him. His teammates know who he is, what he's about, what he means, and who he is as a person. So when he's the kind of guy when your mom gives you that look, she ain't got to say nothing because that's your mom. You know what she means. But other people outside like, yo, whoop him, stuff like that. But yeah. I think Josh is like, you know what? Now Steph's going, this is my team, and I don't know how much he felt like it was or what, or was he co-sharing the team last year with Steph or what? But I think now he's like, there's nobody here that I'm sharing with. This is Josh's show, and I can be Josh, and they're gonna listen.
Yeah,
I think that's the difference, and that's what I say. He's not the kind of guy that deals with intense players around. That's kind of what I mean. Because even Von Miller, he's a leader, but he's not intense. He says don't blink. He tells you what to do on the sideline. He has a way about him to communicate with the younger guys. Dawson Knox, he said he's a leader of the tight end room. If somebody comes to him, that's just kind of how they lead on this team. So I think that's the culture that they're looking to build, and if it works, fine. But when you're bringing in the egos that you got to break and reprogram, you're gonna need somebody with a little more vocality on you.
Right. I'm debating whether or not I should do this now. I'm just gonna do it. Since we hit some empty space. We have a read. Ain't that something? Really? Yeah. The network is partnered with BetUS.
Oh.
So I'm gonna do the read now.
Do it.
All right. Listen up, sports bettors. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back for our 30th year of sports action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of 125%, BetUS offers the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including live action and the chance to build your own prop. That's right. If you're looking for live in-game betting, incredible props, daily odd boosters, and top-tiered racebook and unbeatable casino experience, look no further. We've got it all. What about fast payouts and exceptional one-on-one customer service? We got that too. Sign up now to betus.com by clicking on the link below and use the promo code DUE, D-U-E, to get the greatest sign-up bonuses. Our account managers are available 24/7 to help you get started on the best action at 1-800-792-3887. That is 1-800-79-BET-US. BetUS, America's favorite sports book.
Well done.
Yeah, I tried real hard. It took everything I had.
I know. Well
I'm
done.
a terrible reader.
No.
Can you tell?
No, you did good. On the spot, you did good.
Yeah.
You did
All
good.
right.
You sounded like you've been there before.
No. I thought about it.
But I don't. I've done it in the car on the way to work and stuff. Like, okay, I can do that too. You know? I can do that. Yeah, BetUS.
You're gonna need to practice because you're doing it next.
I'll do it next time.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what's funny about that?
What?
I didn't realize it was real. I'm like, yo, how did they come up with these snazzy taglines?
Oh yeah, that's how they do it. Yeah, they actually read this stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
It's incredible.
Okay.
I just realized that Colin Cowherd reads the teleprompter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I never knew
writers.
that.
Yeah, you got writers.
Yeah. So, I mean, if he can have a teleprompter, why can't I?
Hey.
We got one.
We ain't
just
got
gotta
anymore. We
set it up, but
have your daughter hold up cue cards.
Yeah, she's not tall enough yet.
I mean,
we won't.
Ken would do it, but by the time I look over, he'd be over there somewhere. Like, yo, put the card.
We might need Ken to come produce the show in a minute.
That's right. Push the button, son.
Yeah, really. Let's see. All right, comments. So Silas says Bass is the reason for every bad thing that happens until he makes field goals consistently.
How you really feel about Bass, Silas?
Yeah,
how you feel?
I feel that exact way about Sean McDermott.
We know.
Yeah.
Honestly, all jokes aside, I've been a McDermott kind of fence tiptoer, but I kind of agree with you more so because true. Why some of the things that we've seen Bass go through, some of the slumps have been put there because of decisions made by the head coach and higher. Competition, the holder, the little decisions that weigh on somebody, and you got to take that into account and figure it out. I think they have sports psychologists that can figure out why he has a yips or all that stuff. So they need to tap into that because you just gave this guy a boatload of cash. Now Harrison Butker is the highest paid kicker, but before that, Tyler Bass is way up there. So you need to work on your investments.
So we just froze. I had to dip out and come back in. Silas said Bass did it again. But to your point, I mean, Butker's the highest paid kicker in the league now, but above anybody else, that dude deserves it. Think about how many.
I'm not denying that.
Is it possible that he surpassed Justin Tucker as the best kicker in the league now, or maybe the most clutch?
Yeah, he's old now, so yeah, probably. I was just bringing up to illustrate that Bass was a high paid kicker before. Yeah. So it's not like he was getting paid peanuts. They really invest in their special teams for what I don't know.
Yeah.
Sam Martin, I think he's one of the highest paid punters in the league. Bass is one of the highest paid kickers. You got all these core special teamers on the team. It's like until this year, what are you doing?
Right.
Why is Matakevich back? Why you had what was this guy's name, that running back that never did anything? Went to Houston, caught the ball against us. What was his name? Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's like we're gonna get to the depth chart a little bit, but you can look and dissect it and see, what are you guys doing? What do you prioritize?
Right. Let me see. Where do we want to go from here? What else?
I wanted to double down though.
Okay.
Because Sean McDermott,
what's he doing?
On the Bills' new look wide receiver room. I like where the unselfishness is for that position.
I like where the unselfishness is
for that position. the wide receiver room. It's only 2 things missing, and Gabe Davis wouldn't come in and nothing.
Oh my gosh!
So Sean McDermott, really? We know who you're talking about.
Exactly.
You are excited. You are happy as a pig in slop.
Right. Can't wait. He couldn't wait. He couldn't wait to throw shots, and that's the part that to me, you should have known at some point Steph Diggs was going to come up to this degree, right? Because the knock on the team right now is none of the receivers not named Tyrell Shavers is really separating themselves in camp.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And what that ultimately speaks to is whoever has got a starting position right now is basically gifted that based on whatever criteria they met prior to camp. You know what I'm saying?
Prior to being a Bill.
Yeah. Exactly. Because I think I don't want to go into it, but there's only one wide receiver that's holding a starting spot that had one last year.
Yep.
Right. So, in
a 3 receiver set, we'll say that.
Yeah, right. If they go through,
that's the caveat because he wasn't even a full-time starter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we don't know if he's even going to be part of that 12 formation if
right.
If his slot position is not there for him. So
conundrum.
It's one of those situations where oh shoot, I didn't want to do that. It's one of those situations where, how can I say this? It's you almost want Stephon Diggs to do great in Houston so that Sean has to shut the F up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that angle, first of all, it would create a lot more juicy stories, throughout the season going forward, because Sean will probably get asked about that a lot if our offense is struggling and Houston's offense reaches a whole nother level above what they were last year.
And I actually saw a report that Stephon Diggs might be the number 1. Obviously with Tank and Nico out there, but
I could see that happening too, because the type of receiver that Nico is, he's a downfield guy. He can do everything, but not as well as the downfield stuff that he does, right? So adding Steph Diggs to that offense, it's a no-brainer. He's the number 1. That opens up so much for Nico Collins and Tank Dell. You know what I mean? And if I was running the team, I would absolutely do that. So I'm very happy that I drafted Stephon Diggs in one of my leagues. He's actually
I think it's the one where you got the Foot Pirates one? But I'm in the league with you. Maybe it's the other one.
Well, I don't know who Foot Pirates are, but the team
allegedly I don't know who the Foot Pirates are. Allegedly. I don't know.
But I think that's what I'm kind of hoping for the most, because this I'll use this word because everybody's using it. This diabolical attack.
You stepping in. You stepping on both feet.
This diabolical attack on this man. It seems to be one of those things that it just makes you feel disgusted on the inside. It's like, yo, this man went out and did what he did for you, right? And now immediately after he leaves, now it's an unselfish atmosphere in the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the funniest part about it. He had by far the most productive and best 4-year stretch of any Bills receiver ever. At me, I don't care. Prove it. Prove otherwise. He has the best 4-year stretch of any wide receiver in Bills history. Now, what do you call it when you double down or triple down? I'm gonna double down and double down.
Okay.
Remember when Darryl Stingley Jr. hit Schultz in practice? At the when he's cheap shotted him after practice. Okay, they were all okay. I'll set the scene. Picture this, as she said. Am I still on?
Yeah.
Okay. Picture this. They're walking off the field after practice, and you see Stingley kind of come across the front of the group of players and tee off on Dalton Schultz. He's all like something must have happened in practice where Schultz he was taking his helmet off, and Stingley just goes and just gives him one right under the chin, and he falls down. No scrum, no nothing. They just kind of come in, back him up, get him off him, Steph Diggs is way over there with his helmet off. He's not even looking. He's just walking out. You know, Bills fans, there's Diggs being Diggs again. Diva Diggs. Like, what did he do? What did he do? I dare somebody to show me what he did. He didn't go in there try to break anybody up. He didn't laugh. He didn't smile. He didn't join in. He just walked into the locker room with everybody else. But he's being a diva. He's Diggs being Diggs again. Buffalo fans, why? Why are we so you know what this reminds me of?
What?
That boyfriend whose girlfriend left him. And he's like, I don't need her. Her feet stink anyway. I don't need her. She had too much weave on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need her. Then he go home and cry.
Then them sheets get cold. Yeah.
Yeah, he in the shower. He in the shower with the water cascading off his forehead, curled up. Why? Why'd you do this? And holding the picture. Why'd you do this to me? That's what it is.
Yep.
Everybody in there that will not let this man live, will not let this man be. The Bills didn't want him no more. They could have said, no, we're not trading. They traded him and took a 6th-rounder. That means we don't want you no more. I don't care how Bean spends it to anybody. I don't care how Bean markets it. I don't care what they say to you. That is not a good deal.
Right.
And you gave him, what, a 2nd-rounder? That is not a good deal. I mean, you give him a 6th-rounder and you got a 2nd-rounder next year when you need a wide receiver now.
Yeah.
So that's not the best you could do. If you want to Stephon Diggs, you don't eat $31 million in dead cap for a player that you wanted.
But you know what that is. That's the ultimate. If I'm going, and I don't even think he really believes this, Sean. Mm-hmm. But that's one of those, if I'm going to get criticized or if I'm going to get fired or if I'm going to, have to continue dealing with what I'm dealing with, right, it's going to be on my terms. Mm-hmm. I don't want to fight with nobody else. I don't want to have to argue with nobody else. Everybody is going to be on my time, my dime, my mindset, my everything. Mm-hmm. Right. And when you do that, first and foremost, you have to make sure that the team that you're putting together can still win with that.
Yep.
Not a situation where I think we can win with these guys, but a situation where I know that my philosophy, my way of doing things is going to produce winning.
Right.
So far, nobody has been able to do that on an elite level without the greatest quarterback of their era. Mm-hmm. Right? Belichick did it with Tom freaking Brady, mm-hmm, right? Now Andy Reid is doing it with Patrick Mahomes, mm-hmm, right? And listen, I'm 10 toes down. I still think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league. Everybody can stare me in the face all they want and criticize. But if I'm comparing talent for talent, if I'm comparing skill for skill and physical ability for physical ability, Josh Allen is more talented and gifted than Patrick Mahomes is. He just is.
See, I mean, the thing is with that, while I don't share the same sentiment, I can't sit here and say, yeah, you're wrong. I can't.
I mean, there's a lot of ways in which Josh is better than Mahomes, but can we say in every aspect? No, because the accomplishments that Mahomes has are far greater than what Josh has. But as you say, there are caveats to it, mm-hmm, where you have to acknowledge some of the advantages that some of these other quarterbacks that have more accolades than Josh has right now have that Josh hasn't had. Mm-hmm. And it's not making an excuse. It's simply looking at a comparable situation and saying, okay, which of these things is not like the other,
right?
So
no, I'm with you. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I was kind of saying that while I don't have that same sentiment about him, there's nothing that you can really say to you be like, yo, you're an idiot. Josh is your number one. Are you serious? Dude, right. I got him on 2 of my fantasy football teams. Come on now.
Right.
I was looking for him. I wanted him. And it's not that it's not one of those deals where it's polarizing like Lamar Jackson. Some people have him very high, including the NFL players themselves, and some people have him very laughably low. Some of the fans, because he's not what they perceive as a quarterback or mm-hmm, the quarterback of their team, which is fine. But Josh Allen, you don't have that wide of a differentiation of opinions. He's not polarizing like that. Everybody will say, even Nick Wright said he is the 2nd best quarterback in the league. Nick Wright.
Yeah.
I said at worst, 3rd best. And I can't tell you who the number 2 is. That's why I said it's leaving it open. Like they did with Van Pran on that list I told you about, where they had the question marks at number 9 to Van Pran 10. I don't know who that number 2 is, if it is one. but I know he's no lower than 3.
Yeah.
So I think that's a safe place to land. And of course, if you got to pick out a quarterbacks in the league, the one we have is fine with me. More than fine with me. I think I know we could win with him, but the thing is, can you get a head coach that will allow Josh to be Josh without having to fight for Josh to be Josh?
Right.
The only way Josh is going to get what he wants is to kick and scream, because McDermott's not listening. Bean's probably not listening. I mean, they get you. There are some ways you got to save him from himself. He wanted MVS. He said, I like that guy. I got to have him. We could have did you better. I'm like, we could have did you better, Josh.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what you want. You sure? Because we can do this instead.
Well, so Silas is saying the offense was very efficient without Diggs giving us average production. I think when we're talking about Diggs's production last year, I need everybody to just like literally take one full step back and take a deep breath. Right? Here's why. When you look at Diggs's production last year, what he was asked to do last year versus what he's been asked to do the last 4 years is something totally different, right? Not only did we experience a scheme change last year, but Diggs went through a role change. And part of the reason why Sean created such a fit about, Diggs still being there and trying to get him off the team back then was because Diggs openly had an issue with the scheme change.
Yep.
He knew it wouldn't work, right?
Yep.
On top of that, he probably knew that Dorsey wasn't the guy, right?
Yep.
When you're that level of a player, you're good enough to know what works in the league and what doesn't. You can look at route concepts and say, this will be the guy if I run it every time. That's not going to do anything against this guy. I can't work with that. Get that out of here. It's the same reason why offensive coordinators say, okay, what plays do you guys want to run? Brady's even said that. I want to run plays that the guys want to run, right? So that means the players know what works to some degree because they have confidence in certain plays as opposed to others, right?
And that's why Diggs left. That's why, because he saw, I said, you know what? This doesn't fit me. And it doesn't have to be in a mean way. It's a realization. Just ain't it for me. I can't this what you're asking. I'm not this kind of player. And I'm not going to be happy doing this because I'm not getting the ball. I'm not producing the way he said it out of his own mouth.
Right.
Elite players want the ball. He said, you don't kick and scream, but you want the ball. Who doesn't? If you don't want the ball in any sport, you don't want the puck, you don't want the shuttlecock, you don't want whatever you don't want, you don't need to be playing. Because guys said the kumbaya, the unselfishness, that ain't gonna, I shouldn't say ain't gonna win because watch them do something. But the thing is, you get the point. The point is, you gotta want to take it. You gotta in football, you're competing against other wide receivers to do what? To get open, to get the ball. I don't care what they say. They all in the back of their mind say, if I run this route crispy enough, Josh will find me at this point in time and I'll get the ball. I don't want Steph to get the ball. I don't want Dalton Kincaid to get the ball. I want the ball. And that's the way you win. That's the mentality that gets you a winning culture.
Right.
It's not I hate this man or I'm hating on him, but I want to do just as good as he does. Iron sharpens iron. They preach all this stuff, but they don't live with none of it. Iron sharpens iron.
Yep.
You got to earn your spot. And I'm going to get into that. Please, producer, please write that down or whatever you do. Earn your spot. Just remember that, okay? Because you're younger than us.
Yeah. Silas says 2022, the second half of the season was the exact same thing. Keyshawn's making a face right now.
I mean, okay, so 2022.
Yeah.
Second half of the season.
Yep.
Who's the number 2?
Gabe Davis.
Who was the number 2 last year?
Gabe Davis.
What did he do?
Absolutely nothing.
Exactly. So what do you think the number 1 is going to do?
Right.
There's only one person on the team. Last year they had Dalton Kincaid. The year before that they had Dawson Knox and Quentin Morris, because Knox is probably hurt again. They had whatever.
Yeah.
What do you think the defense is going to do? We key in. What do we always say? Don't look at the opening game. Don't look at the first couple of games because guess what? There's no film. You got a half a season on film. I know how to stop this man. I know what this route is. I've seen it 6, 7, 8 times. I know how to beat it.
Yep.
And teams have told you when 14's on the field, we feel good. When they pull 14 off, we know we good. When 13's over there, what did Patrick Peterson say? I know what 3 routes he runs.
Right.
I know what 3 routes he runs. There's 9. So he runs 1/3 of the possible routes. And that's not even option routes. So, I mean, to tell me that the one guy that actually produces 12, 13, 14, 1,500 yards disappears. I wonder why. Because the offenses have been vanilla and they keep going to the same dude. And I don't want to hear forcing the ball. Why are you forcing the ball? Because there's one guy in the field that gets open. And what did you do? You double down. I got a whole bunch of guys that don't get open now.
Yeah. But that again, all of this comes down to I guess this point for Silas, because he's saying, look at the numbers, guys. I hated the Dorsey hire, but Diggs' production dropped off after week 10 in 2022 and 23. He was taking himself off the field in third downs last year. It was time. First off, he wasn't taking himself off the field.
Yeah,
he wasn't a part of the play.
He didn't even know to play. Brady said, we didn't even show him that play.
Right. He wasn't part of the play. And every time he came off the field, there was only one of those plays where it was a pass play.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure that it was an audible by Josh.
Mm-hmm.
But every time Diggs came off the field, it was a run play. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't even like he was gonna be a part of it anyway, pass blocking, right? So the other part is this, though. We and for those of you that have been watching us for a while, we don't get heavy into stats because there's always caveats to stats, right? Numbers can be manipulated to reflect whatever point you want to reflect. So while we may use stats sometimes to kind of paint a picture for people, we don't heavily rely on that as the foundation of a belief. We look at the stats. But then and scouts do the same thing. They look at the stats, but then they got to go watch the tape. And then I got to watch them live. And then I got to watch them in certain settings. Big crowd, small crowd. Yeah. Is his family there? Is his family not there? Is he ill? Is he not? Like, all of that stuff matters. So it's not just stats. So when you say look at the numbers, there's so much more to pay attention to than just the numbers. And that's why it's not the foundation of how we do things.
And if you look at the numbers, you got to look at other players' numbers too.
Exactly.
If Diggs don't go off, nobody does.
That's the point. That's the point. Mm-hmm. Because it wasn't like, so last year, if we're going to focus on last year, which is what I was trying to do. Mm-hmm. If you want to look at the numbers, you can say, yeah, Diggs' production dipped and then Shakir's boomed, right? But that was due to what was being called. You as a player only have so much power when you're on the outs with the staff.
Right.
Like, look at Antonio Brown. He was one catch away from hitting $1 million bonus.
And he ends up doing cartwheels off the field.
right. For throwing his freaking helmet or whatever he threw into the stands.
Barry says his nipples out doing cartwheels off the field, never to be seen again.
Exactly. Like, at that point, he was still Antonio Brown. He was still a name in the league. He was still making plays. So it doesn't matter who you are or what you want if the staff doesn't want you in there, right, or if the staff doesn't want to engage you or employ you as part of a game plan. Mm-hmm. You are a tool as a player during the regular season. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Now, more and more players nowadays are using whatever levers they can get contract wise and situation wise and things like that to give themselves better situations. But Diggs was in a no-win situation from the beginning. He was with a head coach who was given the ultimate power over the entire team when Pagula said this is Sean's show. Secondly, he had a guy in Sean McDermott that was fundamentally I'll say this. He was diametrically opposed to everything that Stephon Diggs was about. Yeah. Stephon Diggs was not a loud guy, but he was a confident guy. And he would talk that stuff on the field. He expected the best. He wanted the best from himself, from his peers, and his staff. And when he wasn't getting that, he was going to call it out. Sean is not about that. Sean is about you sit down, you do what you're told, and whenever we say jump, you say how high. Right. And that's it. Right? Mm-hmm. This is a head coach that gets upset if players wear Jordans on the field. This is a head coach that says, no, men should be wearing Carhartts and work boots. That's who this head coach is.
I don't either, so I guess I'm listening, man.
Right. No, Kevin, you're right. That's why McDermott couldn't stand Daboll. That's exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah. So it's more of a situation of Diggs was cut off at the knees last year. And the year before that, it was the system just didn't work and nobody else could make plays. So it was easy to take Diggs out the game. Mm-hmm. But I said this in our last episode, because this is the other part of that too. The offense in general, after Daboll left, the offense became predictable after week 6, week 7.
Right.
It happened every single year. Go back and look it up. Find out for yourself. I always encourage everybody to do that. Go look for yourself. Don't take my word for it, but I'm telling you what I've seen. Week 6, week 7, the offense, people start understanding the not the minor nuances of it, but they understand the tendencies. They understand what the goal of the offense is on a week-to-week basis and what they're trying to do conceptually, right? So once teams get a hold of that, the other point I made was Mike Shula, their senior offensive assistant. This is the guy that oversees the offense, reports back to Sean McDermott. Can you just check really quick and see if he's still the senior offensive assistant? Because I know he was last year, year before that. But the point of me bringing him up is his MO. He's notorious for being a brilliant play creator. He can draw up some great plays, right? And he can call them. He's not a great play caller during the game, but the worst part of Mike Shula is that he does not make in-game adjustments, right? And this is the guy overseeing the entire offense and reporting back to Sean. Now, let's also keep in mind that Sean wants this offense run how he wants it. It's part of the reason Daboll didn't feel comfortable staying another year with how close they were to winning a Super Bowl.
Shula's gone now.
He's gone now?
Gone now. He's in South Carolina. He's offensive analyst at South Carolina.
Okay, so he left what, this year?
This is his first year with the Bills.
Okay, right. So hopefully we see something different this year now that Brady's, kind of the only person there to handle the offense. But, even with that, it's like looking at the Diggs situation, there's so much more below the surface that people don't really take the time to get into because they look at the stats and then they just stop there.
Yep.
And
it's based on stats too. And I'm not coming.
Right.
I know Silas is a stats guy, so I'm not going to go there. But you got to delve into splits. You got to delve into down and distance. You got to delve into field condition. You got to delve into time of day. You got to, like you said earlier, you can cherry pick any stats you want.
Right.
You can use any stats you want to your advantage. I mean, I can sit here and tell you that Stephon Diggs had 4 of his 7 drops last year after week 10. What does that mean? Where were the drops? Nobody knows unless you go watch the video again and map it out. What was it? What was the situation? What was the scenario? Was it a route that Diggs doesn't feel comfortable running? It's even if you're 30 years old and elite wide receiver does not like certain passes. They don't like certain routes. Devontae Adams does not like certain passes, certain routes. You can't name me a wide receiver or anybody in any sport that doesn't like something. And other players on their team know it. Michael Jordan didn't like going left forever. And it's proven. Yep. He couldn't go left, but he's the greatest ever. LeBron James had sloppy handle when he first started. Guess what? He was still dominant because people knew how to get around that. Set a pick. Football. Wide receivers. They don't like running slant sometimes. They don't like going over the middle sometimes. Some of them don't like going deep. Some running backs don't like running up the A-gap. It depends on who the person, and it's up to the coach to know that.
Right.
As opposed to just saying, oh, because he's elite. Because on Madden he can do it, so why can't he do it now? That's it's crazy to me. Like somebody that played sports, not obviously not on a pro level, but I played for a lot of years. It doesn't work that way.
Right. Outside looking in, you got to clarify that, man. He says that stats don't lie, but statisticians do.
I think I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I get it too, but I just wanted to be clear for because at face value, it kind of looks like like stats are it.
I think stats. See, that's the thing. Everybody knows numbers don't lie. Numbers are numbers. You can't faux pas the numbers. However, you can always bring the numbers that work to your narrative to the forefront.
There you go.
And that's what he's saying. If I see, oh man, Diggs did actually do better in that game in week 16. Let me just push that off and bring up a game where he had 2 drops and had abysmal playoff. Let me just bring that up again. But that's what people do.
Right. But so if you're okay, then I'll recommend this. Because for those of you that seeing the show for the first time or hearing the show for the first time, we're still working on getting the video back on.
It's a good show, I promise.
I promise. Okay, yeah. Outside looking in said that's what I meant. You guys got it. So what the heck was I saying now?
The stats don't lie.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I got it. So when it comes to stats, if you want to, and this is for every stat that's out there, right? if you're gonna say, okay, I want to base my opinion upon what the numbers say, then you have to make sure that you're going and getting every available number on that particular subject. And it cannot be in a biased fashion where you're only so if I'm looking at Stephon Diggs, right? And I'm saying his production dipped. Well, then I got to go look at how many plays were called, how many times he was targeted on those plays. I got to look at who else was on the field at that point. I got to look, you know, and this is kind of what I was talking about, where like, yes, you're right. Stats don't lie, but it's not just the basic stats. You have to now start going into the advanced stats and looking at very specific things to paint the entire picture.
That's the rabbit hole. And
that's kind of what I'm talking about is most people never go that deep. Right. They go and they see, well, how many catches do you have? How many touchdowns did he have? How many receptions and how many catch percentage? I think is
damn you fantasy football.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and you're absolutely right. Fantasy football programs people like that to look at just those stats as if that's all that matters. But it's not. It's not giving you the entire picture. So when it comes to, you know, what happened between Diggs and Sean. And again, for those of you, you know, hearing the show for the first time, my source at One Bills Drive confirmed that it was Sean that made the call in getting Diggs out of there. When we spoke to someone connected to Diggs, it was the way that it was said. It wasn't Bean. It wasn't the offensive coordinator. It wasn't the owner. It was Sean. That's exactly how it was worded. It was Sean. And you can see the evidence in that, or you can see evidence that supports that point from what Sean tried to do the year before in saying that we don't know where Diggs is. We haven't heard of it. He left practice. I don't know. I'm
very concerned.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Throwing him under the bus. That's the initiation. That's how you get that kind of stuff started. You get the ball rolling on stuff like that. Now the media is investigating Diggs and not Sean. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of stuff that has always bothered me about this entire situation. So I'm one of those people where, like, again, Bills till I die, but I hope Stephon Diggs has 2,000 yards this season. I really do.
I don't, because that means you beat me in fantasy again, and I'm not with it. I'm not with it.
Well, again, the league that we're talking about, we haven't drafted yet.
Okay.
That league hasn't drafted yet. So, listen, if anybody is interested, in joining our fantasy football league, link is in the description. It might be in the description of our YouTube video. All right, I'll put it up everywhere. I'll put it on our social media.
I don't even know where we are anymore. We're on everything.
Yep, I will put it on the Do Champions channel. I'll put it up on their social media pages and all that kind of stuff too. I'll send it to them so they can get it out to you guys. I think we got four spots left, something like that.
5, something like that.
Yeah, it's like a 16-team league. It's not bad.
Max. I think I saw.
Yeah. So the prize though for this league is if you win the league, if you win the championship, you win control of the league for the following season. I've never heard.
Yo, that is going to be fun.
It's the dopest prize ever.
And the thing about it is that the comments are already going. We're already in there. We're talking. We have no teams. We have no teams. People are in there talking already.
Yeah.
And we're talking back. 100%. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Like, right. How much more fun can you have? People, I'm scared. Don't be scared.
Roy said, did y'all turn the video off so Key could go topless? Yes.
Exactly.
That's it. Outside looking in said exactly.
I did.
Oh, it was so serendipitous.
Roy, I texted you this already. Why do you not know this?
Yeah.
I like to let them breathe sometimes.
So outside looking in. So in the description of this video, I think it's the first link there. On YouTube. Everywhere. I'm not sure I put it up on social media yet, but I can. But I know we usually see you outside looking in on YouTube. So you can definitely get it there. Silas says, can't wait to continue this discussion at a later date in greater detail. So Silas, you thinking a Wednesday night maybe? Is that where we're going with this? I might be able to convince Keyshawn to take a day off. No,
dude, you can see in my eyes. I'm man. I got a 36-minute nap between my jobs. 36 minutes.
Jeez.
And T wrote over. And he's doing proud. I jumped, man. My heart was through my neck because I was like, "Yo, what time is? I'm late. We gotta be." She's like, it's funny.
The ladies don't know no chill. The wives don't know no chill.
Man, The thing about me is I work so much. I don't know what part of the day it is when I go to sleep and wake up. I'm like, yo, I'm late for something. Where am I going? One time I woke up, no lie, I had to be at the first job. I had to leave at 7 o'clock, and I had to be at the second job at 7 o'clock at night. So I went home, laid on the couch, went to sleep. 7 o'clock in the morning is it's almost a little dark, and 7 o'clock at night it gets a little dark. So my alarm, I think it was my alarm went off or something. And she was sitting there, and I jumped up in a panic. I got to go to work. Which job am I going to? I didn't know which job I had to work at. I didn't know what part of the day it was. I was like, I got to go somewhere, but I don't know where. I'm gonna get in the car. What uniform do I wear? I don't know. I figured it out before I got dressed. Have you ever gotten in the car and driven and then realized it was your day off?
No. Have I? I feel like I have done that once.
Dude, my alarm didn't go off. I got dressed, like my clothes were on backwards. I got in the car, I burned out. I was on the 33. I was like, wait a minute, it's my day off. Let me turn around. I was like, why did my alarm not go? I'm panicked. I'm late. I'm super late. I'm like, yo, they're gonna kill me. My day off.
See, this is the other part of being a dad too. Is once that happens, you kind of realize, wait a second, maybe I'll just let them think I did go to work. You know what I'm saying?
Just in the car, like.
He's watching the sun come up, he's just sitting there chilling. Like, man, this is nice. This is lovely. I did not even realize I had a sunroof in this car.
Like,
this is amazing.
What's coming from?
Right, and it opens all the way. Look
All
at
the
that.
way.
I can stick my hand through there and everything.
This is beautiful.
Exactly. So Key, just so you know, we have no video right now. So any body motions that you do, nobody can see.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right, so let's we got
just took my shoes and socks off till y'all missed it. Oh well.
Ooh, dang! I know they hurt. I know they hurting. Yo, if I cover my eyes, would you do it? No, nobody else can see it. Okay, what if Junie closes his eyes? Our producer
would do it.
So even if we both not looking, you still wouldn't do it.
Dude, my shoe would go to ish.
Unbelievable.
It's a comfort zone thing, man. My shoe would go to ish if I did. I'd be.
One of these days, your comfort zone is got to come to an extinction. You got to.
We'll never.
Let me see if I can get that for you, OLI.
Get what?
I'm gonna try and see if I can go over to the YouTube page and get the link, copy it, and put it in this. In the chat here.
Are we on YouTube though? Is it working on
YouTube?
YouTube?
Yeah. I mean, video's not going anywhere, but they can hear us.
Right. So YouTube's not working. The video on YouTube is not working either.
No. It's going through everywhere. So,
okay.
Ooh, excuse me. Let me see.
So I'm telling you, we're gonna boost this up. We're gonna bring the content up because you can't see our faces,
right?
But you can hear our voice. So we want to keep you entertained. We can still see your comments too, just so you know.
Absolutely. So let's do this. Let's go while I get the link.
I had a couple more things.
Okay,
not stuff we heard, but I just a rundown. You can chime in when you want.
Okay.
So fights have been on all-time high this year. It seems like you got the Bill Stinging and Dalton Soul today. DK Metcalf was swinging his helmet at people.
Daniel Jones was fighting somebody.
Jones was fighting.
Yeah.
A defensive tackle from Appalachian State ripped off the offensive guard's helmet and threw it at him. Hit him in the head with his own helmet. Running back for the Lions gets into it with elite neighbors. You see that? His neighbor swore he was squaring up. Like he was talking mess. He caught a touchdown. He must have mossed him or something. Mini moss. Yes. Yo, he got up. Yeah, he squared up. Fisticuffs. Wow. And guess who was involved? Mighty Mike Devin Singletary.
What?
Oh, he was squaring up. He had him up. So why is he not? Why is Singletary not being Singletary again? Why is this Diggs Diva Diggs? Diggs are eating a pork chop sandwich. Why this is stewing? And Singletary they're trying to get a Royal Rumble going, but nobody say nothing about that. I think I tweeted that out.
Wow. I mean, if Devin Singletary is trying to fight somebody, like you really had to have screwed up.
I guess.
Like that is one of the quietest, nicest looking dudes in the world.
He actually is pretty, he's pretty, no inside sources obviously have dealt with him, people that do know, IYKYK.
Right.
Let's see. Alec Anderson versus everybody. This man is fought.
Again?
He's been in like 2 or 3 different dust ups. He was in a dust up with who was it? With was it Deshaun Williams that hurt Andy Isabella? He was in a dust up that me and Mel were at, and I think he was involved in something else. This dude, he's scrappy. I'm starting to think he's not innocent. I'm fine with that, but he ain't innocent. Let's see. Okay, so I don't know how you want to do this. Do you want to go right into? Let me see what I have here. Okay, so why do the Bills not have an alternate helmet?
Why? Say it again.
Why don't they have an alternate helmet?
Who?
The Bills. Josh Allen's come out 3 years in a row with a helmet on that we don't wear. This man wants to wear a different helmet. I remember after he wore the red when they had him mic'd up and he said, I'm going to get in serious trouble for this, but I don't care. He just wants to do something different. Yeah. You know, it's minor.
Right.
Isn't
but
the helmet like isn't it like black?
Yeah, he had the black one this year. I really like the blue one, but I mean the point is, why are you so staunchly stuck in your ways you can't even embellish a little bit and come out with something a little different? You know, I mean, it's legal. You could if you wanted to. I guess does that fall into the Jordans? Is that not Carhartt work boots enough? Is it too pretty?
Probably, yeah.
Prissy, huh?
That's probably right.
Okay. I'll solve that then because I don't want to get in trouble with McDermott Enterprises.
I mean, okay, I'll put it like this. If they were to go with an alternate helmet, which one would you pick?
Me?
Yes.
Me personally, like the blue one. I love the blue one.
The blue with the same Bills logo?
Yeah. The blue face mask, blue helmet with the Bills logo he had on last year.
That's disgusting.
You would say that. What do you mean? The O.J. Simpson with the blue face mask?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with the black one.
Yeah. Why don't we go back to a half cage too?
It's just gross.
Let's go back to a half cage too.
Why?
Because you must.
Because it's blue and it's disgusting. Because you got to make it all the way ugly. Cage. Listen. What you need to do is go back to the red helmet. I don't care if you have the 2000s with the 40 different stripes in the middle of the helmet, and one of them is black, which makes absolutely no sense. I don't care if it's that one, but the rest of the helmet needs to be red. It just does. It was the best color we've ever had as a helmet.
You got stats on that?
No, I have an opinion. I mean, I'll talk to the Do Champions research team and see if they can come up with some stats on that.
No, you know, I think that's why I like the blue because it's different. I think that's because we haven't seen it. You know, we've seen red, white, and blue forever.
Yeah. And
I just like that blue helmet. It's disgusting to you, but you know, I mean, I thought it was pretty snazzy. Let's see. I'm gonna tiptoe around that. Okay. Did you know?
Okay.
Well, let me ask you this: do you know who may or may not be the greatest goaltender of all time in NHL?
Dominic Hasek.
Okay. Very good answer, because that's correct. However, did you know before he came here, he played 25 games, had an 890 something save average, which is below average. He came to Buffalo after 25 games in a trade and proceeded to be the best goaltender of all time. All he needed was the right situation. I'm waiting for that player to come in for the Bills. I'm waiting for that guy. And he ought to be the best of all time. But that player like a Poyer, like a Hyde, that just needed that right situation. I want to see it, man. I'm telling you, I'm going to be looking this preseason at other games, probably trying to figure out, you know, who else is out there. I want you guys to tell me as well. Who do you see out there? Who are you looking at? Who in other games could you see fitting in the Bills and maybe taking a starting spot or taking a value depth spot? You know, we got the safety position is wide open, and I think we're gonna bleed. Do you have anything else before we bleed in? Because I'm gonna bleed into your topic.
Go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead.
I am looking at this team and wondering, what is the Jamal Adai effect? Why is it that Kyer Elam and Damar Hamlin are now having camps of camps? By far the best camps both of them ever had when we got a new D-backs coach.
Well, what's surprising about that is Rasul Douglas and Christian Benford are still penciled in as the starters.
Right.
I mean, if Elam was having such a great camp and he's obviously athletically, you know, better than the other two guys.
Well, I think that was a knee-jerk I don't want to, I don't want to say who it was because I don't remember. I can tell you it was Shout, Locked On, one of the two that they said they could see a battle between Benford and Elam.
Really?
Yeah. And they're always, Shout is always at the press. They have press passes. They're on the field. Joe Marino was I think he was on the field too. Okay. So they both were there for all. Joe was here for 10 days. He went to every practice and he reported back on every one of them. So I think where they fell apart with the Douglas pick was that they gave him, they redid his contract. They brought him back. Whereas they could have just said, we got Elam now. Let's just go ahead with it. Do you have to? Not really. If you don't feel completely confident in the fact that he can play and hamstring yourself, and if Elam doesn't work out, now you got Cam Lewis. Now you got Kenny Lovely. You got Jamarcus Ingram. Of course you want to have a Rasul Douglas because he was, like I told you before, in one season he's the 23rd most interceptions in Bills history after half a season. 4. That's crazy. But, so I see why they brought him back, but I also see where Elam should be getting time on the field. Now, what I didn't know, did you know Damar Hamlin was actually a cornerback?
Really?
He was actually a cornerback for Pitt for his first 2 seasons.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Cornerback.
So why isn't he better in coverage?
That's what I was getting at. Is it that he's not good in coverage, or is he not being taught the right techniques? Why is it now with the new D-backs coach that he's
that's
shining?
Also a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
And the thing is, I went back and watched his footage. The Damar Hamlin we've seen is not the Damar Hamlin that we saw there. I mean, he was shot out of a cannon. He was aggressive. He was tiptoeing the lines dirty sometimes. He made plays on the ball. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he's not the fastest guy, but the point was he played against Clemson. He played against Notre Dame. He played against these teams when he played for Pitt. And he fared fairly well. Now, am I saying that he's the next Poyer or next Hyde? No, not at all. But he's also not a fringe player if you look at what he's done. If you put him in the right situation, he's not one of those guys like, he might not make it. I think, maybe he should start. And Joni, remember I asked you to hold on to this thought for me? You have to earn it. If you tell me for 1 second Mike Edwards is on that field week 1, when he's only practiced, 1 time, 2 times? What did he earn? Once again, McDermott, what did he earn? What did Keon Coleman earn? He's an X. Draft day, he's our X. What did he earn? Who has to earn what? What position are we earning? Where does that apply? Where doesn't that apply?
Well, so far with the depth chart is now, it looks like Damar Hamlin is the only one that's earned anything.
Exactly.
But even with that, though,
right.
What's funny about it is you have to wonder if Mike Edwards was healthy and was here for OTAs and here for the start of training camp, would Hamlin have even had a chance? Because at first it was Mike Edwards. Okay, then Bishop goes in, and now we're hearing, and seeing Damar Hamlin has got the spot.
Right.
So it's just weird. You know what I mean? Like, it to some degree, it's like you can't even really say that Damar's earned it yet.
Right.
Like, he has to show out in preseason too to kind of make it definitive. Like, yes, I'm playing better, I can say, than my peers, right? But everybody else is hurt. So it's like, how can you say it was a real competition to begin with?
Yeah, it's default.
Like, it's literally the Levi Wallace competition.
You know, it's what I'm saying? Not even that, because Levi was playing against guys that just suck, but they were actually there.
Right. That's exactly
right.
It's
like, it's me and ain't nobody back there.
Right. You turn around and tumbleweeds rolling around. Yeah.
Now we got Burgess and Kareem Jackson, but I mean, Kareem Jackson's 36 years old and Burgess is a virtual practice squad player. So you have Cam Lewis, who's become the everything man now. He's the premier backup at the outside, the inside, the slot. He's playing safety. He's playing gunner. He's playing. So now Cam Lewis has so effectively been the most important player on this team, pretty much. Not named Josh Allen, by virtue of all the things that he can do. He's irreplaceable right now, which I'm proud because watching him, when I watched him at UB, just to see him transition. Jamarcus Ingram, no offense, I don't remember him playing, but that's because the defensive backs coaches at UB at that time were atrocious. So he might have been the best one on the field, but they were as a unit horrible. And I called it every time. I'm like, they're gonna give up the game again, and they did. So I'm interested in Jamil Adai. Jamal. I gotta make myself
you gotta get that right.
I gotta make sure I say it right. Jamal Adai.
Yeah.
Um,
So what do you like so far about where we are in terms of the depth chart? Who's starting right now that you look at and you're like, yeah, that's who I would have put there.
in terms of getting a shot,
Or even just backups. You know, like who's at a position now where you're like, yeah, that's where they're supposed to be.
I mean, I'm good. Well, not where they're supposed to be, but I'm good with Kyer finally getting his name out there. I'm good with him actually being considered as somebody pushing for starting positions, somebody that's pushing for actual playing time, even in a platoon role, somebody that could be a successor that makes Rasul Douglas not necessary anymore in 2025. I'm interested in seeing if Epinesa, because right now he's a starter. He's presented as a starter. Von Miller's his backup, which is interesting to me. I'm interested in seeing what he can do. You know, he says that he's mastered the art of batting balls down the line, and I want to see him do that even further. I am interested in seeing Keon Coleman. You know, they have him starting right now. He's penciled in as a starter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in seeing him ward off, you know, Matt Collins, who was the X before, ward off, you know, MVS. I'm interested in seeing, you know, I like the fact that, as bad as it sounds, I like the fact Ty Johnson's been out, because that allows for Ray Davis to get more reps. That allows for Darrington Evans to get his name out there, because Darrington Evans is somebody we talked about, I think last year, even maybe on the show, where I was like, you know, give this guy a chance. He's pretty good. And then what you hear now with Ty Johnson not being in existence right now for practice purposes is Darrington Evans' name. You know, you saw his speed at the scrimmage, and me and Mel saw his speed on Monday's practice last week. So yeah, I'm interested in a lot of the depth, trying to cement the roles on the team. They're spotting on 53, and maybe pushing somebody a different dynamic. You know, everybody says last year we kept 5 wide receivers, we kept this many tight ends. I want to see somebody say, you know what, we got to keep that guy. So where can we trim fat elsewhere?
Right. I'm still trying to look for this link, man. I feel terrible. I'm trying to tell people about it, carry a conversation, and find this link.
I ain't know what you're looking at. Okay.
Let me see. Silas says DeMar is probably going to be better in the free safety role. Yeah. I mean, that's where I imagine him being anyway. Taylor Rapp is not suited to like. Here's the other part of that too. The difference in safety play is probably going to be very negligible this year. There's not going to be that you know shift in play between free safety and strong safety. Both sides are going to be just about the same in terms of the way that they play the you know, some of the things that you see in terms of the single high and stuff like that. I'm not even sure we're going to see a ton of that anymore. No. I think so much of that was due to Micah Hyde's ability to cover, you know, in pretty much the best way we've seen since Jarris Bird was here. Yeah.
Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, admittedly, the one Jarris Bird hater in the building is admitting that was probably the best cover guy we had.
And the funny part about it is you were there when he was we were friends when he was on the team, and I told you, I hate this guy.
Yeah.
Can't stand this dude. But
I met him one time. He came, actually, so when this building was still a church, he came here. And I happened to be drumming that day, and he sat way in the back. And after service was over, you know, he came up and he was talking to Damaris and you know, Damaris introduced me and all that. And he met everybody, you know what I mean? But just real calm, soft-spoken dude, you know, real cool, you know what I mean? But I loved watching him play. I really did. To me, he was like a baby version of Ed Reed if he had the opportunity.
He was just slower, but he was the same. Same concept.
Right.
I met his dad. I actually met his dad right the year when he was about to leave. And I remember just messing when I asked him, I said, so was something about both? He's like, you know, it's a nice place. I was like, All right. I said, well, you're always welcome to come back whenever you want. Leave your son at home.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Let me see. What else do we have? So Lindsay. Okay. Sorry, Lindsay. She said, did the battery camera take a dump? No visuals due to incident exposure. Yeah. Oh, indecent exposure. Sorry. No. So we'll probably
mean-
be explaining this like 70 times the rest of this last half hour. But so we're having internet issues right now, and once we finish the show, I'm going to be taking care of that, so that come Monday when we're doing the show on the network that we so love, we will have video for you guys, and hopefully we can, like, everything will just be set from there going forward. You know what I mean? And it's been hard to kind of get this thing going. I really feel terrible because we've been saying the last 2 weeks, you know, we're gonna finally have our launch show on the network, and you know, this is what it ends up being with no video. So we're gonna get this fixed. Thank you very much to everybody who's you know, sticking with us. We got 103 people watching, which is more than we've ever had before. So I'm super thankful for that. But please bear with us. Hopefully we're entertaining enough just audio for right now.
Now hopefully we are. We are. I mean, I got in my heart, I believe we are. So
okay, hey, I'm with it. I'm with it. But
no,
that's what's going on right now.
I was going to say, who was it? Was it Tabonius on X that taunted you, and he had Cat Williams said, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, him and Matt, like, they both are like, yeah, we'll see. Right. And
I mean, hey,
we
did
radio, it halfway today.
Right. If we got to go radio, we'll go radio.
Yeah. Anybody who was tuned in when we first started, they kind of got a chance to see what we can really do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. You gotta be here when it first starts.
Yeah,
and get all the best.
If you're new to the show, go back and watch old shows. You'll see what we're about. This is consistent. This is consistent. We've been friends for almost 2 decades now. So it's like, all right, we just roll off the tongue, just go with whatever we feel. And he tries to make me mad, and I try to do the same.
Right. What's this one about? So Roy says Douglas was under contract. Bean did a restructure.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Before the season, he did. Yeah, they restructured his contract to ease the cap hit.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because he was set to make what, like
9 million.
Oh, so they got it down to 6.
They got it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
They moved it in my favorite way. Restructures, adding void years. Love it.
Keyshon is like literally ear to ear smiling right now.
Mm-hmm.
He is very excited about this.
Anybody that knows me knows how I feel about the salary cap. I'm not the history guy. I'm not the X's and O's guy. I love the draft. I love the salary cap and free agency. That's my wheelhouse. The rest of this stuff, I'm just a tag along. However, when you tell me, oh, you know what I looked at? You know the Bears have 20 players on their dead cap roll?
Really?
20 players. It adds up to $20 million or $18 million. Stephon Diggs by himself, $31 million. And people say, why can't we go get? That's why. That's why. Yeah.
That's why we do that.
That would be the reason why we're getting these guys that you know, Simon or Shane Simons and whatnot.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, I did some digging. I said, you know what, let me see what their dead cap is. Just because I was trying to see what who they had, who we could possibly look at on their team, maybe to come on our practice squad or onto our 53 when they get cut.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, let me go a little further and see what their bankroll looks like. And yeah. And you got to remember that includes Justin Fields. That includes there's somebody else I forget. But yeah, it's man, they really wanted that dude gone. They really wanted Diggs gone. Anybody that says that Diggs wanted out, I don't really care what you want. You cost me $5 million less to stay home.
Yep.
I had $5 million to spend elsewhere. But instead, I wanted you off my team. You had to go because I really needed that second rounder next year and lose that 6.
Yep.
I really needed it.
I think the only time we've seen anything relatively close to that kind of a move, it was the Antonio Brown situation with the Steelers. That's the only time. But even with that, anybody just looking from the outside in, you didn't even have to have inside knowledge as to what was going on. From the outside looking in, it looked like Antonio Brown was going crazy. You know what I'm saying? It looked like he was literally out of his mind, and the Steelers had to cut bait to save face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the Diggs situation, it was almost the exact opposite. Nobody knew what the hell was going on.
Mm-mm.
Nobody.
Mm-mm.
I did.
Inside
you know what
sources.
I mean?
You had inside sources.
That's what I'm saying. If you knew somebody, or if you knew Diggs or whatever, or if if he spoke to you
right.
and was open with you, then cool. But Nobody knew what the heck was going on with this guy.
Right.
And on top of that, he's not the type of person to just talk about that anywhere.
Right.
Even the opportunities that he's had during the offseason when he was on with Kay Adams and when he was on with when they asked him during press conferences and stuff like that. Anybody who wanted to say something at that point could have found a way to say something in the same way that Sean made it a point to say something without actually saying something. Mm-hmm. For Sean to say, we got a bunch of selfless guys in the locker room and I love that atmosphere. It's a very indirect way of inferring that Stephon Diggs wasn't that way.
Right.
Because what's the difference? Gabe Davis is not there and Stephon Diggs is not there.
He was an abusive father, and Gabe Davis was never there.
Right.
I can speak freely because Mac ain't here, so I can say it. Gabe Davis was never there.
Well, you still got to answer to him once we get home.
Hey,
so.
I guess so. I'll take that though.
Right.
But you know what? You know what's interesting about that is can we now learn? Not us, because we talked about this in depth last offseason. Cryptic tweets. Don't drive yourself nuts with it.
Yeah.
He's doing it to screw with you.
Right.
If I ever get 1,000 followers on Twitter, I'm gonna be like, the sky is purple. What does it mean? What is he talking about? Is it code? I'm gonna drive people nuts because I can, because people that go and look at that Dalton Schultz and that Darryl Stingley thing and say, oh, look at Diva Diggs. You're gullible. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but it is what it is. If you look at something and you hate this guy so much for nothing that you got to put him in something that he had nothing to do with, cryptic tweets. I hope he does bad. I can't stand. You know, when what was it? Oh, what was it? Somebody said something. I forget how it went. I wish I remember, but I said on the show where somebody said something about Buffalo food, this, and third, and Worcestershire wing spot, whatever. And they added Diggs. He said, oh, I love this with ranch. Just screwing with people in Buffalo. He's not here anymore. Right. But that's how he is. So I'm saying, like, if you weren't so butthurt, it would actually be pretty funny.
Yo, Bully is a trip. He said, if you say the sky is purple, you want to be traded to Minnesota.
Oh man, see?
That's right.
See?
That's right. That's exactly
let the rumors commence.
Yeah.
It's up from here.
Yeah. Bully said before that, he said, I wanted Diggs gone after that Bengals playoff game. Why?
Which is I mean, it's fine. I don't agree.
Wait, was it okay? So let me ask you this.
Why?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Is Diggs putting his arms up when he was saying whatever he was saying to Josh. But let me ask you this: if we had heard what Diggs was saying, and he had his arms up, and everybody's seeing the body language and stuff like that, but let's say, for instance, Diggs during that time was saying, Josh, come on, man. We ain't got no choice. We got to win. We got to win. We got to get this thing done. We got to, like, the body language of that might look a little aggressive. Mm-hmm. It might look like you got kind of a problem. Mm-hmm. But the mentality and the tone and the words you're using are absolutely different.
Right.
And the point that I'm trying to make with all this is I think the visual of that was what set people off. It was perceived as the receiver is going after the quarterback.
And the thing is, what did they always say they were when they were in Buffalo? What were they?
Brothers.
What brothers don't argue? What brothers don't bicker? What brothers don't have difference of opinions? What brothers don't fight? Brady was going at it with who? With who? Name them.
Right.
You have footage of T.O. and McNabb going at it. You got footage of people going at it with the coaches. But I bet you most of them won something.
Yeah. I
bet most of them were the best of their craft at something. Why is it different when it's here? Why do we have to be the good old boys all the time? You know, and when you ask, I want to step back into what your question was when you asked loosely, what am I paying attention to tomorrow? Mm-hmm. Zach Davison, for sure. The reason why, because I don't care if he catches the ball. I want to know how he blocks. I want to know how much special teams he plays because that's where he's going to make his money. Yeah. Because Quentin Morris is a special teamer. Now, if Zach Davison can do that, he's not. You know, I saw a tweet. Was it a tweet or was it on Facebook? It was Facebook, where somebody said he's going to leapfrog Dawson Knox. Like, no, he's not, because Dawson Knox still is a good player. He's 100%. A better blocker.
Yeah, 100%.
He's got the freaking chemistry with Josh Allen, right. And he's got time vested. Zach Davison is not. He's just a new name. He's going to come into Buffalo. He was good in training camp. He was good at the blue and red game. And let's look at him tomorrow against guys he hasn't played against. There's a reason why he's not on anybody else's team. There's a reason why he's a journeyman. And we're going to find out maybe. And I don't want to hear about, it doesn't matter. You just put lofty expectations on the guy that doesn't quite deserve it yet.
Right.
Let him get good. And that's the problem with what we're doing. Connor McGovern. I'm interested in seeing how he does with the center work. I wasn't impressed with him at guard. And he says he's a better center. We saw faux pas and snaps, long snaps, short snaps. The ball's been on the ground. Can you clean that up? I want to know who the return man is going to be. Because let's see, who was it? It was supposed to be between Hamler, Isabella.
Well, Hamler's the backup slot guy. That looks great for him right now.
Yeah, I mean, Hamler can play outside, inside, and he can return. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know how his injuries are, if he's good to go. I don't know if he's playing tomorrow or what, but I know for a fact that if he is, Daquan Hardy might be that slot cornerback, primary backup and slot cornerback. Okay,
and that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I wanted to get to this comment, but you kind of slid back into the roster stuff.
Go back. We back and
so Bully said 4 catches in a big game against Cincinnati. He's referring to Diggs. 3 catches against KC in a big game. 4 catches against KC in a big game. That's why I wanted him gone. And you made this point too already. But who else did we have? Who else did we have on the field? And really what I'm saying is, when you have a number 1 receiver in the playoffs, they typically don't go off. Reggie Wayne against the Bears, they typically don't go off. They'll make a play if it's busted coverage and stuff like that. But what that takes is great coordination and play calling. That's what it takes. What it also takes is you need other players around that superstar opening things up for the superstar.
I was going to checkmate that with this point. How do you think Gabe Davis had 4 touchdowns in that Kansas City game?
Exactly.
Where do you think the attention was? It wasn't on Gabe Davis.
Right.
It was on somebody else. And there's only one other somebody else on that field. It wasn't Devin Singletary.
It wasn't Dawson Knox.
I love Dawson Knox.
Yep.
It was Cole Beasley on the team?
That year.
Was that Beasley in the slot? Because I know he was hurt.
You talking about 13 seconds game?
Yeah.
Actually, I think he was. Yeah.
And he was Cole Beasley that got hauled up.
Yeah, but he was hurt that year.
That's what I'm saying. He had was that the broken something?
I think it was. Yeah, broken leg or something like that. So he
got called up.
It's fractured
because nobody else could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so how do you think Gabe went off? He was not game planned against. He just made the catches. Josh saw it, made the throws. And Gabe Davis had one play where he really made the dude look stupid with that cornerback. No business on the field anyway. But there is a Stephon Diggs effect. Now we need to figure out who that guy's going to be this year. It doesn't have to be somebody that gives you what Diggs gave you, but it has to be somebody that has to strike fear in somebody's heart.
Right.
And that's going to have to be Curtis Samuel, I believe. Everybody talks about Keon Coleman in the red zone. Yes. Dalton Kincaid. Sure. Like you said earlier with the 12 formation, if they go heavy with that, what is Khalil Shakir? He's kind of collateral damage again. So I mean, it's just a slippery slope because they're going to want to get the young guy on, but there's that name, that number there. Everybody's like, he's gone, even though we know he's not as good in the playoffs. We know he could be.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's the other part of that too, and this is why I brought up the Reggie Waynes of the world. I mean, Jamar Chase's, T. Higgins, like they're good for one big play per game, but they're not going off against these like playoff teams are too good, and they spend too much time figuring out how to stop your best weapons.
That's what they do. Yeah.
Right? That's it. One of the things that made Belichick and the Patriots great was they could stop your 2 best weapons and make you win with the 3rd or 4th guy. That's what they were known for. Yeah, they didn't just take away the first. Exactly. Right? So if your 3rd best option was Chris Hogan, guess what? You better damn well win the game with Chris Hogan. And here's the thing. If Chris Hogan wasn't good enough to do that, well, then you just lose.
Right.
And that's what they counted on.
And that was a funny part. They identified the guy they was going to beat them. And it was up to you to figure out who they were going to let you beat them with.
Exactly.
Like, well, half the game, you're trying to figure out who can I throw the ball to? Okay, they got him. And then like by the third quarter, like,
right.
Now we're going to pour it on you with our guy, Tommy Tom.
Exactly. And what always worked against the Patriots, and part of the reason why Peyton Manning was always so good against that team, is he could figure that out throughout the game.
Yep.
He could make those adjustments and figure out, who are you giving me? Okay, I'll give it to that guy until you're forced to cover that guy. Then I'll start getting it to my guys. Right now, those battles were great battles. Yeah. But that's how you have to be in the playoffs every single time. Yeah. It can't just be, well, I got this $30 million receiver out there. He better make every play every time I throw it to him. Yeah. That's not real life.
No.
And that should not be the expectation.
That's mad.
Exactly. It's exactly what it is. It's mad. It's fantasy football is what it is. And so the reality, the real, first of all, for everybody that's watching, all 109 of you, thank you very much for tuning in. But the reason we're here,
smash that like button if you want to smash that like button.
Please. But we are all about trying to bring as much reality into the conversation as possible. Whoever we're judging based on real stuff. We're not just looking at the fluff of the stats. We're not just looking at, press announcements and here, like, we really go in depth in thought about.
It's not an emotional
exactly. Thing. That's the reason why we say all truth, no sodium. None of this is based on emotion at all, right? It's observation. And so when we're looking at how teams win in the playoffs, matter of fact, I said to somebody, I forget who it was. It was in the comments of a YouTube video that we had did a couple of weeks ago, maybe. And I think I told you about this too. It might have been Dorothy. Okay. It might have been Dorothy. I'm not sure. But anyway, the point is, this person was talking about how, they were, glad to be rid of Diggs, right? And no. Because I told Lauren about it, but that wasn't who I said it to initially. So what I said to the person was, name me one team that has ever won a Super Bowl, and you guys are more than welcome to try and answer this question. Name me one team that's ever won a Super Bowl without an elite playmaker like Stephon Diggs on their team. I guarantee you can't. You can't. Yeah, you can't, because the Chiefs have always had Travis Kelce, always, since day one. Right? You want to say their offense is terrible? They still had the absolute best tight end, possibly of all time,
and top 3 quarterback.
I'm talking about besides the quarterback.
I'm saying, those two things work hand in hand. So that,
but you also have perhaps the best offensive play caller in the league right now, and maybe of all time.
He had help with Bieniemy at the
time. Exactly. So the Steelers, what year?
Santonio Holmes.
Exactly. Santonio Holmes, Plaxico Burress was a playmaker. Yeah. Who else did they have? Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that was actually that was it the Cardinals game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Santonio Holmes. Yeah.
It was that.
Yeah. Matter of fact, didn't they have it was Holmes that I was thinking about. I was because I was gonna say, didn't the Steelers have a Moss on their team?
Sonoris Moss.
I think that might have been Sonoris Moss.
So
he ended up going to the Jets too. Yeah, it's same difference now. The Giants, their offensive playmaker at the time was Tiki Barber.
Yeah.
I think it's Tiki Barber for the first. Yeah, because Tiki Barber, and then who was the 6'4" dude that they had the year they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
Which one are you looking at? The 2011 or 2007?
2007.
2007. They had
Plaxico Burress on that team. I know that. Brandon Jacobs. Derek Ward. Okay, I'm sorry. It wasn't Tiki Barber.
They had Jeremy Saki.
Oh my gosh! Look at that.
Bradshaw was running all over everybody.
Exactly.
I mean,
Brandon Jacobs couldn't be stopped that year.
No, Plaxico Burress, Amani Toomer. Kevin Boss is doing good. Steve Smith was, the other Steve Smith. David Tyree, obviously. I mean, we can go down a list on that one.
Yeah. So again, while we're not saying all of these guys are elite playmakers, you can say that year Brandon Jacobs was an elite playmaker. Jeremy Shockey was definitely an elite playmaker. Ahmad Bradshaw was running all over the league that year. Plaxico Burress was a playmaker. He did it in the Super Bowl. Amani Toomer he's a veteran guy. He's a little bit older, but he was that Reggie Wayne to Plaxico Burress's Marvin Harrison, so to speak, right?
Plaxico Burress that year went 70 catches, 1,000 yards, and 12 touchdowns.
I'm sorry. That's an elite number one receiver right there.
Yes, it is. Amani Toomer went 59 for 760 and 3.
Right. And again, keep in mind, this is 2007, people.
He was 33.
2007.
Yeah.
Right? Receivers wasn't just getting 141 targets. How many catches did he have?
Which one?
Plaxico Burress.
Plaxico Burress, he had 70 catches.
Right. So people weren't just getting 70 catches for 1,025 yards.
Right.
That just didn't happen like that back in 2007. Like, you had to really earn that. Yep. You had to be great. You know what I'm saying?
Ran for over 1,000 yards that year too.
Right. So that when I bring that point up of you're not winning a Super Bowl without elite playmaker, at least one on your offense, that's why. Right. You need that guy to either open up things for other guys that can make some plays here and there on your team, or you need that playmaker to make a play in a key moment of the game. Think about where we were back in 2020 when we were booming, right? And my wife is looking at the Bills play and asking me, who are we right now? Right. And we come back against the Rams, and the final play of the game was, this wasn't the final play of the game, the touchdown to Diggs. He scored the touchdown on Jalen Ramsey, who at the time was the best cornerback in the league. Right. And Josh Allen throws a very accurate dart to the only place that he could get it to Diggs and Diggs makes the play on the best corner in the league at that point.
Who he owned.
Who he's owned. So that right there to me is like, how many other teams have a guy who can do that to the best quarterback in a corner in the league? Not many. At that time, not many teams did. Right. So those are the moments that I'm talking about where you need a playmaker, because those are the moments that show up in the playoffs. Those are the moments that show up in the Super Bowl, right? And for everybody who wants to point to last year when Diggs missed that 60-yard catch, first off, that's never been a big part of his game. No. Never. He is not an over the top with a guy draped all over his back, make the catch type of receiver.
Downfield guy. How many times have you seen him do it?
Exactly.
It's comebacks, crossers, slants, flat routes, and stuff like that.
And he makes guys miss, and he gets extra yards and all that stuff. That's his game, right? So the expectation needs to be adapted a little bit when it comes to that. Now, if we're looking at Keon Coleman, Keon Coleman better be bodying everybody. He's
going up and getting it.
He better be
going up and get it. Yep.
Because he's going to be as big as some corners. I think Tariq Woolen, Seahawks is a 6'4" dude. Size, yeah. So there's corners like that in the league now who are 6'2", 6'4", but Keon Coleman is going to be thicker than those guys.
Yeah. He's like,
I had to look at the producer. I had to check. Am I getting away with that? Do I get away with that? No. All right.
Yo, bro.
All right. I didn't get away with that one. But anyway, Keon Coleman is bigger than these dudes. He should be. What, you passing gas over there again, bro?
Yeah.
Yo,
you gotta stop doing that.
Nah, he broke wins.
Yo, it's not me. It's this thing on.
And now Keyshawn's alarm is going off, which means we got 15 minutes left on the show. Bully said over you real bad. I know. Bully said thicker is crazy.
Yeah, it is. Thank you very much.
Bully says you guys are probably right, but I have a grudge against Diggs. I can't wait to play Houston.
I ain't mad at you. I'm not. Hey, you got it right. If you have a founded reason why you're sick of this dude, I get it, but I don't want to hear it because he made Josh Allen hurt his feeling. How? If I got $258 million, man, look, you can say whatever you want to me. I'm gonna go sleep with my $258 million in a bed, man, and I'm gonna rub it in your face. But the thing is, like you said, like Bully said, okay, we might have a point. That's fine. Yeah. I'm not trying to prove your point is wrong. You have a right to feel the way you want to feel. But, you illustrated, you said why. You didn't just say, like you said, the arms outstretched. Mm-hmm. If you just said that, like, yo, come on now. Do better. Do better.
Even with that, like, that's fine.
And he gave you the stats, even though we said we'll do stats. This game he did this game he did that, this game he did that. I'm good with that. I'm good with it.
Yeah. Dorothy, you finally joined us live. I'm so used to talking to you in the comments,
Right?
She said y'all saying the deep ball isn't Diggs' style, and a bunch of laughing faces.
It's not.
It
wasn't.
I mean, it sounds. I can understand how that can kind of sound excusey, but that's like asking Gabe Davis to run elite routes that don't break in. It's not gonna happen.
Yo, if y'all can see my face right now. You can see.
That's why I'm laughing, because I mean, it's yeah. See, Bully even agrees. He said, "Nah, teammates argue. Jordan punched people in practice. That's what it is.
Exactly.
That's what it is. You either get right or you go home. That's what it is.
I can tell you, Stephon Diggs, overwhelming majority of his receptions last year, targets even, were between 0 and 9 yards.
Yep.
Deep routes, 24 targets, 6 receptions. Okay, so he has 72 targets in 0 to 9.
So wait, can you go by season?
Yeah.
All right. Can we go back to 2020? Because I just like
that. I can't add them up, so yeah, I can do that.
That's fine. I just went like so.
Yeah, look, 0 to 9, 82 had 75.
Right?
Huh?
2020 is his best year, right?
Yeah. He had 75 of his 82 targets, 0 to 9. He only went deep 16 times. Okay, cool. He went deep 16 times, and
he was on his phone. Just keep going. He's
like, what do you say with Ayo? I don't know why. Okay.
Oh, you let it go? We good? No. God, I gotta hit him again. Oh my gosh.
He's still gonna text in. Hey yo, that's crazy.
It's one of the funnest parts of the show. Is getting caught with that.
Somebody got to do it.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'll hop on the show.
Oh, you gonna hop in the comments?
I'm gonna hop in the comments, but like, hey,
you better not get fired. Don't get fired trying to comment on the show talking about some AO.
No, because I'm gonna have earpiece in my ear, and I'm gonna.
Okay.
Hey,
all right.
Do it. Yeah, but no,
you're gonna type that AYO and look up at his ball, staring at him the whole time. Like, no, you gotta go, bro.
You gotta go, fam. Yeah, I mean,
you gotta go.
Josh Allen was his rating at throwing of Steph Diggs between 0 and 9 was 106.6. Between 10 and 19 was 132.7. After that, his lowest rated pass was a deep pass. Like you said, he is not a deep pass receiver.
Right.
We've known that.
Right.
And that's why they had to market Gabe Davis as what? A deep pass guy, because Diggs was not it. For everything he was.
Yep. He's not a deep guy.
Never his game.
He's not a deep guy. Let's do this really quick just to indulge myself.
Okay.
Can we look at the same year and look at Josh Allen's accuracy or efficiency throwing the ball past 20 yards?
Okay.
Pulling it up now.
All right.
While you do that, Silas says Chase never disappears in the playoffs. He may not take over every game, but he gives Cincy 5 to 7 receptions per playoff games. I can tell you this: they have an offensive-minded head coach who makes it a point to get his guy involved. That's one of the bigger differences between what the Bills do with Sean McDermott and what the Bengals do and what the Chiefs do. Those two teams right now are the teams that people would consider to be, well, before this year, the Bills' biggest competition towards getting to a Super Bowl. And both of those coaches / coordinators operate that way. They get their better players involved. They get their guys going. And even if it's just, 2-3 catches in the first quarter to get there, to make the defense have to pay attention, to get Jamar Chase involved and into the game, do that. And then after that, you may see 3-4 catches the rest of the game. But guess what? They all matter because they all force the defense to pay attention. That's not something that was stressed with Stephon Diggs except for Josh, right? I think it was a Josh thing. And I think because it was such a Josh thing, Sean had an issue with it. Sean wanted to run the ball and do all the stuff that he wants to do. And we'll see it this year. I'm telling you right now, this is not Brady's ideal offense. This is not going to be what Brady wanted to do the day he got the job. This is not what he's excited to do. That's part of the reason why the offense doesn't have the same energy that the defense does. Right. Brady came in as an energetic guy. You saw that in some of the first press conferences earlier this offseason, right? He was the energy guy. You almost you really didn't hear from Babish that much. Right. You know what I'm saying? But for him to be where he is now, where it just seems like, he's kind of taking things in stride and calm and stuff like that speaks to an atmosphere in the building of, I'm kind of just doing what I'm told.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we've said you guys can go check out some of our other episodes where I've said this. A lot of the language that Brady is using is Sean's language.
Yeah,
it is. If you pay attention, a lot of the stuff he's saying is stuff that Sean has said in his press conferences. It's all the same language. That's how you know it's not like, because Babbage is not saying the same stuff that Sean is saying. He's not. No. You know, so that's the difference.
I was gonna say the only other things I have for the game tomorrow. Caleb, all healthy starters will play a range of plays per Matt Eberflus. Nate Davis is most likely out, so we're going to see Ryan Bates playing right guard and center. Do we get to watch Tremaine Edmonds play tomorrow?
Wait, watching who?
Tremaine Edmonds play tomorrow.
I don't know. I never liked him.
Neither.
You know what I mean? It's weird. I thought first of all, I didn't know who the guy was when we drafted him, but you know what I'm saying? I think it was one of those situations where you see the size and you see the speed and all that kind of stuff, and you just kind of figure, hey, I mean, maybe this dude is going to be able to come in and you know, make some people pay. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to draft James Williams. You know what I mean? That's a guy 6'5", 222. Well, I think he was 215 in college, but you get that guy up to 220, and you're talking about a Legion of Boom type of safety. You know what I'm saying? Where nobody's going anywhere near that dude. Even if you put him back in coverage and he wasn't great in coverage, he's so damn big, it doesn't matter anyway, right? But Edmonds was supposed to be that kind of guy with that kind of speed and that size, and he just wasn't. And it was frustrating. And so I think over time, I had looked at his impact, at all this, you know, leadership stuff that they were, you know, kind of forming him into, you know, and I kind of looked at guys like Roquan Smith and Devin White, and you know, these were guys that kind of came in at the same time. No time out. No, what are you talking? Listen, okay, all right. Let me stop for a second and say this. So
those who don't know,
I'm telling on you, bro. I
don't care.
This man, he was walking.
So as I'm talking,
as a grown man,
right,
falling over the floor.
He
can't prove it. You can't prove I wasn't here.
Yo,
can you prove it?
Yeah, I can prove it.
How? Roll the footage.
Right. There's no way to prove
exactly.
it.
That's why I did it.
I'm in the middle of talking, and Keyshawn gives me the index finger as if to say, hold on a second. So I'm thinking I got to stop talking. And then he starts moving away from the mic. So I'm like, oh, shoot, I got to keep talking. So then he starts crawling on the floor under the camera views so that he doesn't get seen by the cameras, which I don't know why you're doing that anyway. Nobody could see us.
I mean, I don't know. This could be the moment where... It'd be the moment where...
Yo, it comes right back on and your butt is on with the shot.
My butt like I'm twerking in the camera.
Yeah, and I'm
like, yo, is this what they do when they think
Yo, they too loose over there.
Whoa.
The first and last episode on
so
New Champions.
That is so funny. Yo, you need to be thankful because you would never get away with that any other time.
I know I wouldn't. I wouldn't have did it any other time.
To have to hold it. So real quick, White Towns King writes in. He says, the run game focus may not be sexy, but it's necessary for us to beat the teams that we can't beat in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Thoughts on that?
No, the run game is necessary. I believe it. The run game is necessary, but the run game is going to open up things for the pass game. Hopefully, I hope. You know, you like we said, who's the number one guy? You know, James Cook's got to step up.
It's Mac Hollins right now.
It's super tough.
Well, I'll put it this way: Mac Hollins is the X.
Mac Hollins is the X. But my thing about this is James Cook's got to step up. He's got to catch the ball. This year, he has to catch the ball. I mean, everybody's talking about ball security. He's not fumbling as much as he's just dropping balls, you know, and that's got to be cleaned up. You know, Ray Davis is fumbling and dropping passes, they say as well. So, I mean, it's like it's no wins because you got to give Josh, because Josh don't want to throw that anyway. You got to give him the reason to want to throw you the ball. Yeah. And if you keep dropping passes, you're fumbling, no ball security.
He's just going to keep scrambling. He's going to say, forget the check down. I'm going for it all or I'm running.
He's going to have 16 touchdowns. Everybody, this is the greatest quarterback. I'm like, yo, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Right.
It's the craziest thing because running the ball to that magnitude is not a quarterback requisite.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I keep saying, I don't know how many times I can say this. If you want Josh to play that way, you got to make it easy for him to play that way.
Right.
And putting guys around him who you say have elite hands, and they might have done it in college a little bit here and there, you know, in spot duty, James Cook in spot duty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was part of the reason I had such an issue with them making him the guy here. It's not that I didn't think he could be a good runner.
Yeah.
But for them to try and make him a 3-down back, he wasn't asked to do any of that in Georgia.
And as big a fan of James Cook as I am, the himbo thing, you know, just that's kind of just hyperbole. I'm just being funny, but I didn't expect last year to happen. I didn't think that he had that in him. So now it's like, is that an anomaly, or is that who he really is when he gets a chance? So now we got to find this. We got to use this season to figure this out, because next year is his 4th season. That's the last year of his contract. And, you know, I mean, at this point in time, what are you going to pay him if you want to keep him? They're probably not going to keep him unless.
No, probably not. That's probably why they got Davis.
I was going to say, unless, you know, Davis is such a kid. They're a month and 10 days apart. But, but you know, I mean, if that was a Dable throw it all over the yard kind of deal where we don't need a running back, cool. But it seemed like Dorsey really liked the skill set that James Cook had to offer, because he used him extensively last year. Or Brady, I'm sorry, not Dorsey. So we'll see. There's a lot of stuff I just want to sift through, like I said, including Kyer Elam, including Dorian Williams. I want to see what I don't care about. Don't get enamored by anything he does in a run game. You got to watch him in pass coverage, because that's where he falls short. You got to watch his depths. You got to watch his reads. You got to watch his pursuits. You got to watch how he anticipates, because that's what he hasn't shown he can do yet. So what I'm looking for in tomorrow's game and going forward, hopefully on Monday when we talk about this, is he can say, oh, you know what, he impressed me here. This is what he did.
Yeah.
Because we know he's good against the run. We know he's a heat-seeking missile. We know certain things about certain people. But what I want to see him do is try to get better at what they're not good at tomorrow.
Right. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put up the still of Keyshawn looking super surprised right now. Or no, I'm sorry, he looks drunk. That's the other one. So we had one where it froze and you look super surprised. This one looks like you just took like 4 shots.
Put that one up.
Yeah, it's up now. So I'm gonna leave that up while we do the close. I
hate you and only you and nobody else but you.
Right. All right. So we got to get you out of here before you get fired.
New people don't know that, but yeah, I'll get fired.
Yeah. So Keyshawn has to be out of here at 8:00. If he doesn't, if we run like 5 minutes over, which we just might, you'll see a stream of fire throughout the streets of Buffalo where Keyshawn is driven on his way to work. So
I punched in 30 seconds to the good.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get this going. All right, cut that down. Yep. That's what we love to do.
Every show bust open really loud. We gotta get it down. Every show.
That's it.
I love it.
That's it. All right. So if you haven't done already, listen. It's Do Champions Media Network all day, baby. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Make it do what it do. Hit that bell. Make that thing
ring-a-ling-a-ling,
so that you can get notifications when all of our notifications come out, and you can stick with us on a daily basis. Content every single day we got coming out. That's just how we roll. We on top of things. So if you are a Bills fanatic, if you are a Bills lover, if you just a part-time Bills fan, whatever, this is still the only place you should be coming. Period. That's just what it is. With that being said, I just checked, and I'm probably gonna have to do this after we end this. Excuse me. You can go on. I'll put this on both pages. Okay, so if you want to try to find either page on YouTube, and I'll post the link on social media too. The invite link for our fantasy football league, it's going to be there after the video's over. If not, you can email us at postpodiumpodcast@gmail.com. That's postpodiumpodcast@gmail.com, and we will get you that invite. Okay. We got 5 spots left, so get in where you fit in. All right. Other than that, we have another show coming up Monday. We will definitely have video for you on that one.
You got these guarantees, man. Hey. We'll be here.
No. Listen.
You speaking
All 10 down on this one.
I got it.
You heard it here first. We will have video on Monday. We'll be back in full force, and you'll be seeing Keyshon's pretty face. And Junie will be here too, so you might see his pretty face too. Listen. We are so appreciative to everybody that tuned in today. We got 129 people watching right now, and we look forward to many, many more. All right. This has been the Post Podium Podcast, sponsored by Ree's Tea, the best tasting tea in town. That link is also in the description. If you cannot see that after this video is over, I will put it in the description on both pages and social media and all that. You can order by the case, or you can order single bottles or whatever. But if you are a tea lover, it's all natural ingredients. It is the best tasting sweet tea you will ever have in your life. Please check that out. Okay. With that being said, this is the home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
And this is 40 Keys on behalf of Basketball Truth and Knowledge.
Yes, that's right. We got to do that plug too. Basketball Truth and Knowledge. My oldest son, Junie's got his own podcast. If you love basketball, you got to check that out. That's just what it is. The man eats, sleeps, and breathes basketball. So if you have any kind of questions about what's been going on or information, stats, all that, he's the guy that you need to go to for basketball. Okay. Other than that, Key's got to get out of here. And I got all kind of crap in my throat that I gotta go get.
Whoa,
hey! Why y'all had to take it there? Y'all just heard me clearing my throat. It's obvious what I'm talking about. You know what? Fine. All right, I'll give it to you. All right, whatever. Anyways, OLI, you made a lot of money today, bro. That's what? 3 different times we went through 90 seconds?
Yeah, man.
Oh, my gosh. All right. We're out of here now. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. We will see you on Monday at 6 p.m. Be there or be whatever you want to be. It don't matter to me. I'm out of here.
Can't wait.
You're right.